It's just one of those lanes where he can't really afford to come up because Lil is just going to give him the right click, right click, right click. So he just has to stand back, spam Ion Shell pretty much, hope that the lane pushes up. I'd actually kind of like to see him just go to the jungle because he's not really pressuring the Medusa too much here. Like, she's perfectly fine when it comes to HP. She's got phase boots now too, level 4 Mystic Snake. It's going to be really, really, really hard for him to pressure him at all. So I think it's more important that Zai actually starts to get some amount of farm. But the reason he can't go there is because RTZ just cleared out most of the jungle camps.
Now here's a big advantage, especially with the change-up of some of the neutrals, such as Mud Golems now having a mana pool. You can easily clear through stacks with Mystic Stake because most of these neutrals do have a mana pool you're going to be able to leech from. You can just constantly spam this out over and over again. So Illidan is going to spend some time clearing through both this medium camp as well as the hard camp that's available to him and leave the top lane to DK Phobos, who's going to need some gold. Just getting the experience by itself is not good enough. You really need that Blink Dagger on a max.
Yeah, RTZ, even with all those stacks, is still only level 6. Whereas if you look at G, he is level 7. And I think the last time they played Silencer mid, he actually didn't get a lot of farmer levels, which is pretty typical of a Silencer mid. The weakness of the lane is just that it's incredibly easy to die. Almost any dive kills you.
Right.
So you need to have a really good start, but RTZ might just pick up Illidan here. And
no, they're going to go for Lil instead, it looks like. They still have the two-man smoke. They're going to come over. He's
got a global
there as well. They're going to go for G. Will be able to catch him out. The burst damage isn't quite there. He's going to be able to get away thanks to the telekinesis of Lil. Now S4 is going to have their turnaround with a global silence. They pick up the free intelligence. And now RTZ, well, he's stuck in a bad, bad place here. He's got the TP, but can he actually get out of this situation? It's all 5 of VP running him down, and RTZ is definitely dead. +4 intelligence already for the silencer.
And this is so significant. These are the 2 cores from Secret that invaded so far into VP's jungle. So it costs VP almost nothing, no time at all. They'll just go back to their fountain. It's a really short trip. They can heal up, where Secret lose a lot out of that. Like the fact that S4 was pretty much free farming at bottom, and then he commits to that, and they don't even get a kill. And the other thing is, you just fed 4 intelligence away to the silencer at the same time. And TA especially can't afford to do that.
Right, she's incredibly dependent on the very limited mana pool that she has, so losing some of that intelligence is going to be difficult. Artur pushing forward, trying to catch him. Beautiful Ice Shards. God, in some serious trouble, doesn't have the global silence and will just be burst down. In fact, VP even canceling the TP there, knowing that there's nothing they could do to save their myth.
That was just Kuro with absolute sick Ice Shards. He placed those so well, there was no way he could get out, and it kept him stuck there for the entire duration. Well played by Secret, and they're putting a lot of pressure on this mid silencer, and they should. It's a lane that's incredibly weak, and you want to be able to punish it as much as you can. There's no escape mechanism, and it's not even that great if he gets, if he's underfarmed, it's incredibly bad, right? So you want to just put the pressure on him if there's anybody that you want to just put pressure on. And Illidan's going to rotate in mid because he's the tankiest by far, and they have to rotate him anytime they want to defend the tower. But what Secret are going to do is actually just rotate top because they know that a lot of heroes have rotated mid.
Yeah, essentially they're going to stay one step ahead of Virtus Pro. VP can't really get into a full-on team fight just yet, especially with Global Silence still down, so
they should glyph this.
Alright, they don't actually pop it, that's fine. Tower still going to go down anyway to Zai. You get some much-needed recovery gold there.
He's doing a good job right now, though. He's finally caught up. 25 CS and a tower kill, that's not too bad for a Darkseer, if I'm not mistaken.
Now, I'm still a bit concerned. Let's talk about Medusa item builds here, because Medusa is obviously one of the key factors for Virtus Pro in this game. Item-wise, what do you like to see from Medusa nowadays? Do you like to see a more aggressive hold-up? Zai's going to be caught here, telekinesis, and going to be bursting down nice and quick. The TP out is not going to be in time. Just too many heroes there.
Yeah, and Illidan gets the last hit. That helps her so much, but you were asking about item builds on Medusa. Scotty is incredibly common just because of what it gives you. It gives you a slow, which Medusa sorely needs. She gets kited so easily. This game, going for something like drums into like point booster isn't a bad idea either. The point booster just is one of the most value items in the game for the Medusa.
Yeah.
If you want to go for the drums, it means that you're typically going to be in a lot more early game engagements. You can go for the Lincolns here, I guess.
I feel like there's a lot of value in the just Yasha to begin with as well, and then you can choose your item build from there. Potentially going to Yasha, which is such a huge increase in farming speed for Medusa due to the both damage and attack speed increase. Illidan is trying to chase down S4 right now. DK Phobos does have an RP, but they're not actually going to go for S4 just chasing him back. But yeah, like Yasha, and then you can make the decision perhaps to go into the Scotty or perhaps a Manta. It used to be the item build a lot of Lincolns, but it seems nowadays in the last few patches where we do see Dusa, it's just too slow of an item build, not enough offense.
Yeah, that's why you don't see heroes like Morph so much anymore, because they rely on items like Lincoln's. But
he's going to pop the global silence, but they're inside of the snowball. That means they are not silenced up, and G will go down. The telekinesis is going to be able to catch Kuro, though. RP being faked out. DK Phobos doesn't need it, though, and Zai, he's going to be caught too. Illidan, look into my eyes. He's going to be able to pick up that kill as well.
That's really good for VP, but at the same time, that silencer's dirt poor. He's not going to have a lot of impact. He needs items. Make no mistake about it. Silencer's the type of hero that if you don't have items, you can't just solely rely on levels to be able to bail yourself out.
Right.
Like, there are some heroes in the mid lane where it doesn't matter too much. An SF will eventually catch up because he can go to the jungle, but Silencer doesn't have that same amount of space.
Yeah, this is why you would sometimes see the carry silencers going for the hand of Midas, just because both levels and farm were so critical. Illidan's going to be caught here, Light Strike Array combination, but of course Illidan is so tanky thanks to that level 3 mana shield. They get the deny in the end, but Illidan is now blocked out, and the snowball grabs everybody through. DK Phobos, he missed the cure, still going to be getting a 3-man RP. They need to get Virtus Pro out of here though. FNG, there goes the Laguna Blade, Ice Shards on top of the Magnus as well, and FNG is going to be caught. Arteezy runs him down easily with the Ion Shell, and it's only really G. He may not even survive as the trap goes off, slows him down. Ice Shards blocking him out. Lil comes in, trying to stop this aggression, but a snowball will still be able to bring them into the tier 3 tower. Fisher goes out, slowing down Lil. They're going in deep to the enemy base, but there's no buybacks from VP. Girls dropping lower and lower. They'll pick up that kill. Arteezy just has the refraction to survive. He's going to TP out and will be able to get away. A 1-for-4 exchange to the favor of Secret.
And this is the lineup that Secret wanted to play. They just wanted to get aggressive as fast as possible. A hero like Medusa has such a slow startup. Same with a hero like Silencer. I mean, what does a Silencer do in a situation like that? He watches the enemy team dive his tier 4s, and he doesn't really have an option of helping out the rest of his team. That's the weakness of it. You can't really provide anything but the teamfight utility. Your actual damage is a little bit too low. You don't have a disable to go along with your hero, and I mean, G's struggling. Secret have just made it such a priority to slow him down as much as possible.
You can see after that team fight, Secret now raised up to a 3,000 net worth lead over VP. And I think you're right. I mean, in general, VP, from the get-go, looking at their draft, it's rather passive. It doesn't do a whole lot in the first 20 minutes of the game. All 3 cores rely on a certain amount of farm. Even the off-laner, Magnus, needs his Blink Dagger before he's truly effective. And the supports as well are a little bit low on damage. Rubik isn't known for being terribly offensive. He just combos well with other heroes. And then, of course, you've got the Naga Siren, who is more defensive in nature due to the ultimate.
Yeah, I think the net is just really good against both the Templar Assassin and the Darkseer. And the sleep can bail your Medusa out and reset for your Magnus, but the problem, as you saw, is that when DK Phobos missed the skewer, even if he hits it there, I think they still can't win the fight. Because they just don't have the damage in this early game to back it up. What VP right now have to do is just play incredibly passively, push out the lanes using the Magnus Shockwave, get a Blink Dagger, and just hope that Illidan can get 6-slotted, because it's really, really difficult for them to fight before he has at least 2 major items.
Right. The limited amount of damage on the side of VP, it just seems like it's not going to be enough to kill anybody on the side of Team Secret for a long time now, especially with the mech now being picked up by Zai. You can see they're going for a 4-man smoke here. If they get the right pick off, they can turn this into another objective, maybe even take an early Roshan. But Virtus Pro are centering up at the top lane, playing very defensively around their tier 2 towers right now. It seems they do have some sort of idea that Secret are looking for a game.
Yeah, it's a little bit... Our Secret are really aware of where VP are right now. When you're playing this defensively, your jungle is going to be your sanctuary, but VP, if you notice their positioning, they're 5-man, they're doing the family style farming right now. They're so afraid to leave each other. They have to rely on FNG sleep to be able to get them out, but this is so inefficient. And it's actually kind of working out because nobody from Secret is farming to punish them, and Secret's going to say, okay, if you're just going to stay in your own jungle, then we'll decide to farm out everywhere. Like, Arteezy's going to go top and then take these 2 camps pretty much as long as he wants.
Right.
And then the rest of his team can pretty much take their own jungle and spread out the lanes as they push in.
Yeah, if you put pressure on these towers, you're going to force eventually Virtus Pro to split up a little bit, and maybe you can find your opening. Bottom lane, Yule Scepter is going to be able to catch DK Phobos, trying to blow him up with Laguna Blade. They do get it. Lil stole that Laguna Blade and is going to hold on to it for later. So might still be able to get a turnaround kill, though. Great pick off for S4 on the offlane Magnus, slowing down that Blink Dagger even further.
You trade a spell for a mag kill, you do that every single time. Like, you're trying to slow down this Blink Dagger as much as possible. If you look at VP's lineup, there's almost zero way for them to initiate. You can use the Naga Sleep to lead the fight, but you don't want to do that. That's your safety mechanism. That's your, okay, our Medusa's about to die, and I can't let her lose all this net worth ability. And without that Blink Dagger, their supports are terrible at initiating. You've got a Medusa that's an incredibly static hero, and the Silencer is the same way. You're waiting for them to take fights into you before you global silence.
See some lines already being drawn at that bottom lane. Looks like Kuro wants to be able to push down that tier 1 tower. And this, if they can actually get that tier 1 tower, Puppey is very close to his Blink Dagger already. He may have it before the Magnus, and that'll be huge. VP are actually going for a 4-man smoke gank right now. They're going to try and pick off Arteezy, who does not have any sort of Blink Dagger. Way to get out of this one. Telekinesis ensnared up and easily bursted down. Even the Laguna Blade being used in there from Lil, just to make sure they get that pick off.
That's more in for G. He almost has the Rod of Atos. DK Phobos is really close to his Blink Dagger after getting that kill. So that was a significant one, but still, it requires pretty much everybody from VP every single time. And that's kind of okay. It's not an ideal situation, but at the same time, you are picking up kills. And the point of this lineup is not to fight in the mid game. The point of this lineup is just get your Medusa farmed up, hope for RPs, and you can hold the game indefinitely with those two spells.
Right. Look at the very aggressive vision being placed by Team Secret. Pretty much saying if VP want to play really defensively around their tier 2 towers, that's fine. We just don't want to give them too much room to farm up. If they ever venture outside of the base, they want to be able to counter them. I love this early Desolator pickup from Arteezy, despite the fact that this build, maybe got him caught in that top lane with really no way of escape. This will allow him to be able to put a lot of solo pressure on the top lane, quickly pushing down the creep wave and threatening those tier 2 towers.
I think he goes for the Roshan at some point too. They've got enough map control that they can go for it. The danger here though is that, again, you don't know how close DK Phobos is to that Blink Dagger, and at the same